I've traveled a ton, and most of those years I've used a typical carry-on with traditional zippers, and it's fine. It keeps everything inside, but there's a few downsides of a traditional zipper, and luggage haven't really evolved or changed much outside of design, styles, and maybe some internal storage features. The biggest feature that I've really started to appreciate in my modern style of traveling is going from a zipper to a zipless or a clamshell. There's still some reasons why you might want to go for a zipper, but honestly, with my recent trips and how I just enjoy packing in a zipless, it's one of those things you don't want to go back to. I think there's a time and a place, and of course, it might go down to your budget. Now picture this, you're at home and you're packing up all your gear, you kind of set on your initial setup and then you zip the whole thing up. All's fine and dandy. You then head to the airport and you're going through the TSA security, emptying out your pockets, all your tech essentials from your bag into the security tray, and you're trying to do all of that without making a huge queue behind you. Once you've gone through the x-ray, then you get caught up to the side because security's flagged your bags and your luggage. They want to check inside your luggage, so you say, okay, sure. You've put your passcode in and you've pinched the TSA lock and you're pulling the zipper all the way around so that you can open it, have them inspect it. Once they're done, you close it up, you pull the zipper again. You're then carrying on down to the check-in and you realize you want to put some of your jackets or your layers inside your carry-on. So you do the same thing, you pinch it out, you open the zippers, you put it in, and then you close it up again. Things are starting to get a little bit stuffy now and you're having to kind of compress down and hope that the zip track doesn't get caught up. You're going through airport duty-free and you find a few souvenirs that you can pick up at duty-free prices. So you bag some of those up, but you realize your hands are all full and you'd rather just put it in your carry-on. Open up your carry-on, unzip it all the way around, stuff it inside, and now you're realizing your carry-on is pretty packed, so you have to put extra pressure, maybe even a knee, and you get your zipper and you have to try and close it around. It kind of gets caught a few times and you have to go back on the zip track, but you manage to line everything up that you can go through it smoothly. It's a bit more heavier and it's a little bit wonky at the edges, but the main thing is it's all in there. While you're in your flight, you realize it's a little bit too cold, so you're gonna get your jacket up from your luggage. You pull it down and you have to open it up on the floor or on your seat. Open up your zipper, pull it in, try and close it down with extra pressure, and then putting it back up. You've got some transport to your hotel, ready for check-in. You're inside your room, opening up the zipper, having to go all the way around, pull it up, and then close it back up. Maybe a little bit different here or there, but for the most part, it's a pretty familiar experience. Across that entire process, the amount of effort and wasted time you just have to zip and unzip, honestly, it adds up through all the travels and all the small efforts you are making. That's just kind of unnecessary if you're tired and you don't want to go in, but you kind of have to. Yeah, it starts feeling very tedious. Now, if you replay that situation from a zipper, but now using a zipless or a clamshell, it's just going to remove a lot of those pain points. It's also a lot of unnecessary mental energy to expend accessing your gear that, to be honest, I try and just avoid it altogether. I try and preempt it and make sure I'm really settled and I've got things, and if I don't, then I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Instead of having to zip in and out, it just opens up like a book. It's very effortless and everything's in plain sight. There's less zips you have to go through. You don't have to look around whether the zippers are on the top, on the back side. If maybe you have an expandable luggage that it's accidentally opening up the expansion and not the full zipper. I find that convenience just gives me more energy to focus on actually what matters. Things just don't really feel like a hassle anymore. Knock on wood, I've not had any issues when it comes to my carry-on luggage and any prying eyes or people trying to get into my gear. But with a zipper luggage, you are a bit more vulnerable on how easy it is to access inside of your luggage. Yes, they have a TSA lock, both of them, but the difference is on the zip track, that's actually where it's easier to fail and easier to get through. You probably have 2 clamps on a zipless luggage, as I do on the Level 8 Captain, even the Level 8 Gibraltar. Those things just have such a very fine tolerance between the closing sides that you cannot pry it open. It's not held by those individual teeth. It's using heavy duty locks that just keep everything nice and secure. Now, my experience having used the level 8 Gibraltar and the Captain, both of them have 2 clamps. However, the more affordable Gibraltar uses high quality plastic for it, whereas the Captain uses an all solid metal aluminium clamp. So they will also vary the level of security on top of going zipless. The convenience of having one central lock system in the Captain makes things even faster, but arguing on the Gibraltar, you can make it even more secure because that's actually got 2 TSA locks on each clamp. So you can vary the codes, having one different to the others. Absolute wonders when it comes to security. Zippers are very accessible, very low cost, so you can find these ranging from budget to even expensive designer-like type of carry-ons. If you're already considering to spend quite a bit more for a nice quality or even a premium style carry-on, then it's just worth looking for luggage that has a zipless, because it's not only got the aesthetics, the premium finish, it's also got a functional part of how much more secure and faster it is. This being the Captain Gibraltar, those ones are far more expensive than the Luminous textured, but they are made of aluminium, full metal, absolute workhorses in terms of security and protection. Something I'm also really appreciating is having this zipless design in a more manageable or reasonable price. Say for example, level 8's Hegiants, that one is a polycarbonate with an aluminium frame, and it's got the same zipless and clamshell design with 2 TSA locks. And that one goes for a fraction of the Gibraltar and the Captain. So if you are looking to have a bit of function, a bit of form, but also want good value, removes some of the barriers where you no longer have to spend a ton to get that feature. It's becoming a lot more accessible, and I am hoping that we see some of that in even the more affordable section. Zipless and clamshell is just the way forward, and any frequent flyer, traveler who is looking for a very high quality and indisposable type of luggage to last for ages, this is just a quality feature that is going to make it much more worthwhile. But I did mention there are some considerations to bear in mind. You'll probably have a smoother and flatter profile to make that work, versus on a clamshell you generally have those clasps sticking out that may kind of get in the way. The ones on the Captain, for example, are actually pretty flush and very slimline, even if they are made of aluminium. So it is also a design aspect to it. It's not that much of a big deal when you look at the Captain, but on the Gibraltar, which do have quite big and bulky clasps, then that is definitely valid. It's not as streamlined or smooth profile as it is with a typical zipper luggage. Zipless will also add a little bit more weight. It does also vary if it's using a hardened plastic or if you're going for a metal body. Like, it's already going to be heavy to begin with, but that's because you are prioritizing the durability, robustness, the security, the protection. So the slight extra weight of those class is not really gonna make much of a difference as an overall convenience, as an overall premiumness, usage, security point of view. Like, going zipless and clamshell is just an absolute no-brainer. If you want to see my individual review of the Luminous texture 20 and 18 inches, also the aluminium Captain and the Gibraltar, and even the Hegiant, you'll find all of these level 8 luggage reviewed on my channel, so check them out down below. And you can also save 10% off when you purchase using my discount code. See you in the next one, but until then, keep being awesome. Peace.